Hey, good morning, everybody. You are back live with the crew and the Bruno Man. We are happy to be here with you today. I have a fun story from a listener. Wow, that camera looks crooked. From a listener who is, I'm going to use the name Mark. That may or may not, his initials are Mark Johnson. Yeah, I'm calling you out, brother. It's been a journey that he and I have been on together. I'm going to put this out there just so you guys can maybe become the next Mark. I really appreciate my crew, the people that comment down below, and everything that we have going together in this group, in this community. So, for me, when I say to people that I'm going to put a contact information, please don't follow anything that says Alan Staple from, wherever else, unless it is thestaplecrew.com is the only place you can get a hold of me. And if I send it to you and it sounds like me, check out the site. And if it isn't my site, you are not contacting me or connecting with me. I don't have a WhatsApp. I don't have any of those other things. But you can get a hold of me through my website, my page. And I will, if you have some big questions and some stuff you want to talk about, there's been many of you. I have hundreds of emails that I've answered in the past. Anyway, Mark is a professional. We're going to call him that. He's a extortionist. Sorry, doggone it. He's an insurance agent. So sorry guys, I just got to call it the way I see it sometimes. But he reached out to me and an email that basically went like this. I'm paraphrasing completely. You've got my wife's head all mixed up with this whole PRX thing, and I don't know who you think you are, and I'd like to know what your credentials are, and blah, 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 blah. 2 paragraphs of how intelligent Mark was and how stupid I am. I get that all the time. I'm used to it my whole life long. I'm not a big fan of academics or academia. They don't really impress me. I think they limit your ability to conform and grow. And I think that in so many ways, they're a starting point. They're not the finish line. And too many people think, oh, well, that's who I am. That's all I am. And that's all I'll ever be because I am this doctor or lawyer or credentialed, research individual of whatever your chosen, path was. I think it just limits your growth in so many ways, and totally generalizing. But anyway, I'm going to throw Mark completely under the bus here. This is going to be a lot of fun because he said, I've talked to him, 2 or 3 times now on the phone since. I gave him, let me backtrack. So that's the email I got, right? And I don't know who you think this PRX stuff, and it's a scam, and we all know it's a scam, and all you got to do is watch Bloomberg, and whatever. Okay. So I gave him I called him, and we talked for the first time. And I said, look, here's the thing. I've never told your wife what to buy. Number 1. Number 2, I don't make a dime, not a single penny. In fact, that's the most beautiful part about cryptocurrencies is anybody that has a YouTube channel, they don't make a dime from selling XRP to you. Not a single dime. Okay? Now they might have a link to a brokerage or something like that, and they might get something, along those lines. But they don't, if you buy 10,000 XRP, they don't get a percentage of those 10,000 coins. And he didn't understand that because that's how the real world kind of does business. I said, no, I'm not making any money off your wife. I mean, what are you talking? You don't understand crypto. Here, let me explain it to you. So we started talking, And I can hear his wife in the room. And, they're kind of bickering while they're talking to me on the phone. I said, do me a favor. Call me when you get a chance, when the two of you are together. And let me talk you guys off the shelf, let me help you land this plane. He calls me back 20 minutes later. He said, no, I promised my wife I wasn't going to insult you, and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, okay, well, thanks, But you can't, I'm impossible to offend, by the way, if you guys haven't figured that out on this channel. You can't offend me. Good luck. I mean, people try it all the time. It's comical to me. But I said, no, you never offended me. Do your thing. And so we had a great conversation. And I said, listen, XRP does two things really, really, really well. That my finance background, or my economics background, has always seen the problem in two areas. And one being the Federal Reserve's inability to create constant and consistent liquidity. Okay? It has to manipulate and massage interest rates and whatnot to try and create more liquidity or slow down liquidity, which is what they're trying to do right now. And it's really working because the banks aren't loaning anything right now. And this creates this, they've overreacted situation. XRP's greatest blessing, and I know there's dozens of good reasons to buy XRP, but my favorite one really is instant liquidity to any market anywhere in the world. If you don't understand how important and valuable that is, Mark, that's something you need to research, because you're living in the old banking system, and the old banking system is not only failing, it's such an old dinosaur that it's eating its own tail. And I gave him the whole reasons why. And it's the truth. If all you need to do is look at the Fed creates the money, the Fed creates the bond, which allows the bank to create your money. What kind of scam is that? And then they try and sell these bonds, and nobody's buying these bonds, so the Fed now has to buy the bonds, and now the Fed is going broke buying these bonds, trying to keep the whole Ponzi afloat. Because what are they doing with the money anyway? Oh, that's right, they're giving it to their best friends, and they're giving it to the corporations to create this Ponzi scheme of a shell game, which is completely collapsing. And right now, the middle management and all the people, all the people in your company or your corporation, and if it's you might want to get a side hustle. If all those people who plan the meetings and attend the meetings, and that's their job, that's all they do, and I know that seems like a really important job, that's the fat in the system that's being liquidated right now. You are being eliminated in this system because the old system is too top heavy. I mean, you look at Twitter, they eliminated 7,000 jobs, and the thing runs as well as it ever did. All those people were meeting planners. And I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just trying to say that that system needed so much false liquidity pumped into it, created from nothing to keep it afloat, that even that system needed XRP. But the new system, in particular, because there's going to be limited, if you are with me and you think the Fed's days are limited, could take years or decades, who knows, but I think that the Fed's days are limited because that style of creating liquidity is almost done and almost gone. He's like, wow, I never really looked at it like that. I'm like, yeah. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to look into stuff that we talk about on this channel all the time. I want you to look at XLM. I want you to look at Algorand. I want you to look at R3. I want you to look at XRP in particular, but what Ripple's doing and what they're doing with the banking system and the systems in which they've created and the connections they've created. And then I want you to always remember what I said about the two most important things that Ripple or XRP coin has achieved, which is instant liquidity. And then try and remember, we all need liquidity to finance or to move objects or create business to sell your taco if you're a taco truck. We need the liquidity. We have to, forward payroll or get supplies or get, beef that we need to buy before we sell. All of that needs liquidity in the market, and the liquidity in which they've created is terrible and it's not functioning well. The whole world is figuring that out. The Western world is still stuck eating its tail, and it's not good. The rest of the world, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but anybody that follows XRP knows this, all the banks around the world get it. They've got it, they understand it, they're going with it, and they're accelerating this technology faster than they are in the US. The US has got the brakes on, and they're prosecuting people for using this technology because they're afraid. Because they're, well, let's just call it what they are. Old men, old women who have old banking success that has worked in the past that isn't going to work in the future. That's just all there is to it. I'm sorry, we're not going back to trading shekels. We're not going to that, okay? We're going technologically minded people understand this. We're going forward with digital. And it's something I explained to Mark, and he called me back about a month later, and he said, well, this is, I'm starting to wrap my head around this whole XRP thing, and I kind of get it, and I kind of get the whole ISO 222. It all sort of makes sense to me, he says, but this is just a couple of months ago, guys. But it's just ridiculous. I can't believe that we paid 28 cents for it. Yeah, we're at what, 51, 52 now? So, let me get to where our conversation was yesterday. This is classic. This is your classic crypto. He was in labor, then he was born, now he's a toddler. And yeah, I'm talking to you, Mark. I'm about to really insult you. You think I haven't even started with you, pal. This guy has become Mr. Crypto. Beautiful thing. I'm not bagging on his love and his passion, his enthusiasm. He's fallen into the trap that XRP is going to save the world. Yes. I'm that guy too. In so many ways. No. It is not going to be the only financial system in which the world transacts in liquidity, banking-wise, globally. Sorry, that's not the answer. It's going to be probably the majority. I'm going to say it's going to be at least 50% to maybe 75% of all transactions will run on those railroad tracks. My guess, my show. He has become fanboy of my show. Cool, dig it, love that part. And many other shows, by the way. I turned him on to 2 or 3 other shows that I really like, in particular about XRP. And Lewis is doing phenomenal stuff. Molly, all the shows out there that I really love. I mean, Zach, night in and night out, is bringing the news, bringing the new content, and understands the value of honest money as well as any channel out there. I turned him on to Zach. He's a huge fan. But so Mark starts to lecture me on on different coins and why I shouldn't own these other coins that I own. And I said, well, that's your path, and that's where you're at right now. And I would be very conscious of the fact that you have blinders on to other opportunities, almost like our very first phone call that we had. You remember that one? when you thought I was some kind of scam artist and you thought that your wife was being manipulated by some old guy on a YouTube channel who was, trying to scam you out of your 401k. Now you've made, I think he told me he's up 40% on his account since when they first bought it. And that's really cool. I love hearing stories like that. It's only just begun. This is BG. This is, I don't know why she's biting on me, but she doesn't want to be in the camera evidently. But that's Beach, and she's a sweetheart too. Like I said, we have 5 cats, 4 dogs. There's enough of them to go around. But she didn't want to be picked up, obviously. So Mark, brother, I love you, man. And I love all of you. And if you guys have any big questions, or a spouse who maybe needs some talking off the ledge, or maybe I could help them understand some things, you could maybe send them this video and show them that Mark's growth and what he's been through. We're only just beginning. He's now become a legal expert. Told you I was going to call you out, Mark. He's now a legal expert on the SEC, and he's gone down that whole rabbit hole. And he is starting to understand. I started talking to him. This is a whole nother video, but I started talking to him about what DAOs are. And many of you already know what a DAO is, but DAOs will overtake the insurance companies, in my opinion. And one day, insurance will be, I've had a great conversation with him about this concept about 2 months ago, and he didn't really understand at the time. And now he's just like, oh my God, Alan, like you totally changed the way I see insurance. Like, no, I said, no, I didn't change. I didn't do that to you. Some other people helped me understand what DAOs are. They helped me understand what actually decentralized autonomous means, and what that can mean to mankind in the future going forward is so huge for something like charities or farming or distribution of any charity or food, or food banks, or insurance. I mean, just picture a world where you have an insurance corporation where there's no profit, where you simply are like a co-op, or you put into an organization to where your funds pay for whoever needs the insurance. But the insurance money that you and I never collect on generates more profit, okay, through staking or mining or whatever in crypto angle, okay? That creates more revenue for the people who have invested in this fund, as to where one day it's generated enough revenue in a large enough pool to where you and I will never even have to pay your insurance anymore, because you've created so much profit over the years that you're covered in case your house was demolished. It's a concept that is so huge and so awesome. I just touched on it, but he and I talk about that kind of stuff because he's into insurance. I just thought it was a great conversation because we've created yet another fan, and not just a fan of my show, many other shows, and there's so many great shows out there, but another fan of XRP, and I just wanted to bring that one up. I've already made kind of a long story out of it, but his wife Karen is an awesome contributor in my show, and she does a lot for all of us. And unfortunately they can't make it to Vegas, but maybe next year. I'd love to see you guys out there. I'd love to see any of you out there, but if you're going to be at the show, I've said this before, please do not hesitate to walk up and say, hi, Alan, Mr. crew guy, staple guy, I don't care what you call me. Just come on up, say hello, because then I can put my show efforts into the people I've met, into faces I've seen, and all of you are such a massive part of what I do here and my show, including my crowing rooster. If you have roosters, you just get used to it, but people that don't have it, like, how do you turn those off? Like, could we get rid of those? Anyway, guys, that is all I have for you today. XRP is crushing it. There's so much good positive news out there. I'm so excited about the space in which we're all in. The whole world understands it. Unfortunately, our government is going to have to be convinced of this, because I think it was Winston Churchill who said, America will do all the wrong things until it does the thing right, until it gets it right. And that's kind of the way we've always done things. And unfortunately, we're going to, we're not going to be the leaders in crypto until one day we will, I suppose, after we've done it wrong for too long. But anyway, I'm babbling on now, and I wish it wasn't that way. It is, and that's the country we live in, I live in. Hopefully most of you don't have to deal with that, and you have a more understanding and open-minded government and Senate that can understand that the future of my children is not paper money. It's just not. They're not going to use paper money. Kids that are born today will never own a wallet. They will never own a leather wallet. They just won't. That's not going to happen in their lifetime. Okay? That's going away. All right, guys. With that, I am out. So, as many of you know, I am a yacht captain, have been for many years. And my boss's lovely wife comes up to me, and we're in Cabo San Lucas. And she says, Alan, I would like to have Avion water on the boat. And I was like, well, yeah, okay. But we have Avion water on the boat. She said, well, yeah, but I want Avion water everywhere. I'm like, right? Okay. What, in the bathroom? Do you want, in each stateroom next to the bed, right? We can make that happen. That's not a problem. No, I want to be able to shower with it and bathe with Avion water. And I went, oh, well, see, I don't think that's possible. I'd have to, well, just go ahead and make that happen for us, okay? All right, thank you. Have a good day, Alan. And I'm thinking to myself, how many hours per 16-ounce bottle I'd have to go to the store and back and forth. My water tank is 5,000 gallons. We're using 1,000 gallons a day times how many bottles per gallon. I'm going to need a pallet jack. I'm pretty sure that's impossible. So I go to the boss and I told him the story, and he looked at me and he said, yeah, isn't she something? Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and tell her that everything's Avion. I think that's a better idea, don't you? And I was like, boss, you're absolutely brilliant sometimes. Well, yeah, that's, they hired me to run Xerox for a reason, I guess, didn't they?